everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this cute bandana. It's got this cool little floral pattern in like a lacy design, and it's pretty simple. I think the only stitches I used are single crochets, double crochets, and chains. And then I'm going to show you how to do this cute little like a mini scallop border around the edge. So let's get started. So I made this one in a variegated yarn, and this pattern works out really cute with the variegated yarn, but just for the purpose of the tutorial today, I'm just going to use a single color. And for bandanas, I love using cotton, but you can kind of use any yarn you have or that you'd like to use. I'm using this Flinders cotton yarn, and you should only need one 50-gram ball of yarn. You can also use whatever yarn, whatever size hook that you'd like. Pretty much you would just finish your bandana at the point when it was the size you want it to be, because the triangle just kind of keeps growing as you go. So you can actually work this up with a heavier weight yarn or a different size hook, and you can make it suit you. This yarn is a lightweight yarn, so I'm going to be using my 4mm hook. And then of course you'll just need some scissors or snips. So to get started, we're just going to make a magic ring with the yarn. So to do that, I like to put two fingers together, hold the yarn with the tail side towards me, wrap the yarn over a second time in a crisscross, and have it down the bottom as well. Then I flip my fingers over, so I've got two strands, put the hook under the one on the right and over the one on the left, and then pull that one under, twist the hook, then put the hook back under that left part of that V at the top there, and then pull that through my loop, and that secures the magic ring. Then sometimes these get a bit twisted, so I like to actually then pull that back out of my magic ring, but I'm still going to crochet over both those strands there. So once you've done your magic ring, chain 1, 2. I like to just chain 2 because you kind of already got a chain when you start that ring. So that should be tall enough. That's going to act as our first double crochet. Then I'm going to do 2 more double crochets into the magic ring. And that's actually going to be the first row. So now we can pull that magic ring tight. Now we're going to turn the work after each row, so we can turn. Now we're going to chain 3 to start the next row. We're going to do 2 more double crochets into that first stitch that we just made. So it'll be like another cluster of 3. Once you've done that, just chain 1 and then into the opposite side, so kind of the third double crochet of the cluster, but it's probably actually the chains that we did at the start. We're going to do another cluster of 3. So find the top of that stitch or group of chains, and we're going to start working another cluster of 3 into that stitch. So there's 3 double crochets in that one stitch. And that's the end of round 2. So we've kind of got this triangle shape starting to form. Turn, chain 3. This is the beginning of row 3. So now we're going to start to see this lace pattern, the floral pattern, start to form. So we're actually going to do another cluster of 3 double crochets, including this chain 3. So we'll do 2 more in that first stitch, 2 more double crochets. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to do a double crochet around that chain 1 space. Just 1 double crochet. Now chain 3. And we're going to do 3 double crochets into the top of this stitch here, the very end stitch. It can be hard to find where to put your hook in that loop, but I just like to find as close to the top chain as I can and wiggle the hook into there. Three double crochets into that same stitch, and that's the end of row 3. Turn your work. We're going to start row 4. So as you might have noticed, at the start of each row we're going to be putting 3 double crochets, including the chain 3, into the first stitch every time, and that's how it keeps increasing into this triangle shape. So we're going to do another chain 3 and 2 double crochets into that same stitch. So that makes a cluster of 3 total. Now we're going to do 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to start working some single crochets. So go around that group of chain 3 from the previous row and single crochet 1, then go into the double crochet and do another single crochet, and then go around the next group of chain 3 and single crochet, and then chain 3 and do 3 double crochets into the last stitch. That's the end of row 4. So we're going to turn our work and chain 3. And of course, we're going to start this row with 2 more double crochets in the same stitch. So we get that cluster of 3 again. Now we're going to chain 3. And now we're going to kind of do what we did in the last row, except there's going to be extra single crochets in the middle. So we're going to go into that chain 3 space again, pull up a loop and single crochet 1. Now we've got 3 single crochets in the middle. We're going to do a single crochet in each of those. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 1 more single crochet into that second group of chain 3 spaces. Pull up a loop and single crochet, chain 3, and once again into that last stitch we're going to do 3 double crochets. And that's the end of row 5. And you can start to see the bottom of that flower forming. So we're going to turn our work and start row 6. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and do 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. Now you're going to chain 1. And now we're actually going to skip the next 2 double crochets. We're going to do 3 double crochets into this chain 3 space. Now chain 3. We're going to skip the first single crochet, but in the next 3 you're going to do a single crochet. So skip this one, go into that second one, in the next one do another 1, 2, and then the third single crochet. So 3 single crochets side by side, chain 3, and now we're going to work 3 double crochets into this next chain 3 space. chain 1, and then work 3 double crochets into the top of that last stitch. And that's the end of row 6. So we're going to turn our work. So this is the beginning of row 7. Chain 3 and do 2 more double crochets into that same stitch. Chain 3, and we're going to work a double crochet into this chain 1 space. Chain 3. We're going to skip all of these double crochets and we're going to work 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. Chain 3, and we're going to work 1 double crochet into the middle single crochet. So we're going to skip the first single crochet and work a double crochet into that second one. Chain 3, and then work 3 double crochets into that next space, the chain 3 space. Chain 3, and work a double crochet into the next chain 1 space, so skip those 3 double crochets again. Chain 3, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into the top of that last stitch. So that's the end of row 7. We're going to turn and we're going to chain 1, 2, 3. And again, we're going to work 2 more double crochets into that first stitch. Chain 3. And now we're working those single crochets again into those chain 3 spaces. So 1 single crochet into the next chain 3 space, a single crochet into the top of that double crochet, and then 1 more single crochet into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3. Skip all of these double crochets and we're going to double crochet 3 into the next chain 3 space. Chain 1 and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3. Skip these double crochets and into the next chain 3 space we're going to work a single crochet, a single crochet into the top of the double crochet, and then a single crochet into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, and work 3 double crochets into the top of that last stitch. And that's the end of row 8. Now your work might look a bit like mine and it's a little bit misshapen, but don't worry about that, it's going to fix itself later and blocking always helps. So to start row 9, turn your work, chain 3, and work 2 more double crochets into that first stitch. Chain 3, skip the double crochets, and in the next chain 3 space, we're going to work 1 single crochet. Then we're going to single crochet in the next 3 single crochets. Then put 1 single crochet in the next chain 3 space and chain 3. Now we're going to work 3 double crochets into the chain 1 space, so skip these 3 double crochets. Chain 3. Skip those next 3 double crochets and work a single crochet into the chain 3 space. Single crochet in the next 3 single crochets. And work 1 single crochet into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3. And work 3 double crochets into the last stitch. And that's the end of row 9. To start row 10, we're going to turn our work again, chain 3, and put 2 more double crochets into that first stitch. Chain 1. Now skip the next 2 double crochets, and in the space, in the chain 3 space, work 3 double crochets. Chain 3. We're going to skip the first single crochet, but then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 single crochets. So in the second one, work your first single crochet, and the next one, and then the next one. So there's 3 single crochets next to each other. Skip the last single crochet, chain 3, and in the next chain 3 space, work 3 double crochets. Chain 1, skip the next 3 double crochets, and in the next chain 3 space, work 3 double crochets. Chain 3, skip the first single crochet and then work a single crochet into the next 3 single crochets. Chain 3, then work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Chain 1, and work 3 double crochets into the last stitch. And that's the end of row 10. To start row 11, turn the work. We're going to chain 3, work 2 more double crochets into the same stitch so that we've got a cluster of 3 once again. Chain 3, and work a double crochet into the chain 1 space. Chain 3, and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. So skipping the 3 double crochets again and working 3 double crochets into that chain space. Chain 3, and work a double crochet into the middle single crochet. So skip the first one, then chain 3, and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. So we're going to skip that third single crochet as well. Chain 3 and work a double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, and skip the 3 double crochets, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, skip the first single crochet and work a double crochet into the second one, chain 3, skip the third single crochet and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3 and work a double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, and work 3 double crochets into the last stitch. And that's the end of row 11. To start row 12, turn the work, chain 3, work 2 more double crochets into that first stitch, chain 3, skip the next double crochets, and in the chain 3 space, do 1 single crochet, single crochet in the double crochet, and single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, skip the next 3 double crochets, and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Chain 1, skip the double crochet in the middle there and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, single crochet in the double crochet, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, work 3 double crochets in the next chain 3 space, chain 1, work 3 double crochets in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, skip the 3 double crochets and work a single crochet into the next chain 3 space, single crochet in the double crochet, and single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and now we're going to work 3 double crochets into the last stitch. And that's the end of row 12. So now that we're up to row 13, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to start explaining the repeats if it's not become clear to you yet. So every time we do 4 rows, that's the same pattern repeating over again. So I'm going to call the next row, which is row 13, but it's row 1 of the repeat. And then you basically repeat rows 1 to 4 over and over again until your bandana is as big as you want it. So to start the first row of the repeat, aka row 13, we're going to turn the work, chain 3, and work 2 more double crochets into that first stitch. Now we're going to start the stitch repeat. So chain 3, skip the next double crochets and we're going to work into the chain 3 space. We're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 single crochets, and then do 1 more single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, skip the 3 double crochets and work 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space. And that is the stitch repeat. We're going to keep doing that until we get to the end of the row, until we do the last stitch. So at the end of the repeat, instead of doing 3 double crochets in a chain 1 space, we're going to just do them straight into the last stitch of the row. And that's the end of row 13, and that is the first row of our 4-row repeat. So to do the next row, which is row 14 or row 2 of our repeat, turn your work, chain 3, work 2 more double crochets into that same first stitch, chain 1, skip the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space, work 3 double crochets. Chain 3, skip the first single crochet and into the second one, and the next 2 after that we're going to do a single crochet, so there'll be 3 in total. Chain 3 and skip the last single crochet and work 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. Now we're going to repeat that stitch pattern from the chain 1 to the second lot of 3 double crochets, all through until the end of the row. And when you get to the end of the row, work the 3 double crochets into the last stitch. That's the end of row 14 and also the end of the second row of our repeat. To start row 15, which is the third row of the repeat, turn the work, chain 3, and work 2 more double crochets into that first stitch. Chain 3, and work 1 double crochet into that chain 1 space. Chain 3, and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, and work a double crochet into the middle single crochet. Chain 3, and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. And that's the end of the stitch pattern for this row. So keep repeating that until the end and put the last 3 double crochets into that last stitch. That's the end of row 15 and the third row of our repeat. We've only got one row left of the repeat, and that'll be row 16 of our bandana. So to start row 16 or row 4 of the repeat, turn your work and chain 3. Work 2 more double crochets into that first stitch. Chain 3. And work a single crochet into the chain 3 space. Single crochet in the double crochet and single crochet in the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, skip the 3 double crochets and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Chain 1 and work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. From here to here will be our pattern repeat for this row. And when you get to your last stitch, work the 3 double crochets into that last stitch. Now we're going to repeat those last 4 rows a few more times until your bandana's as big as you want it to be, but I like to end on the second row of that repeat pattern because that's going to determine how we work the border. So finish on row 2 of the pattern, but you can keep going as big as you like. So I'm going to add a few more rows until mine is 22 rows, I think, and I will meet you back here to tell you how to do the border. Okay, so I finished my last row of my bandana. Mine's row 22, yours might be row 18 or row 26 or any multiple of 4 plus 2 basically, because you want to finish on the second row of the repeat of the pattern for this edge to work anyway. Now I decided I wanted to make my border here in a different color. You could continue in the same color if you want, but I am cutting mine off. Please don't judge how short this end is. I realized I made a mistake and had to go back and I'd already cut it. And now I have this tiny little, don't do that. But normally I would cut a longer end than this, like about that long, and then fasten off. But if you were going to continue with the same color, I'll explain how you would do that. So I'm going to be doing my border in this color. That's the periwinkle in the Flinders cotton yarn. And I'm going to keep my work facing the same way as it did when I finished this row. So this time we're not going to turn the work, but I am going to rotate the work like this. I'm going to put my hook back into that last stitch right there, and I'm going to pull up a loop of my new yarn and just do a chain basically to lock that in place. We are going to put our hook back in that same stitch, pull up a loop and work a single crochet. So if you were working with the same yarn, you would do a chain 1 and then work a single crochet into this top of this stitch. Now to do this cute little scallop pattern, it's super easy. We're just going to chain 3 and single crochet in the next space. Now, when we're doing these edges and we're working into the sides of the double crochets, I like to do 1 in the bar and then 1 in, there's like a little smaller loop. So you can see here's the bar and here's like the loop at the bottom. So I like to go 1 in the bar, 1 in the loop, 1 in the bar, 1 in the loop, and then we're going to end up with an even number of stitches. So now I've done that chain 3 single crochet, we're going to do another single crochet and then repeat. So chain 3, single crochet in the bar, single crochet in the loop, chain 3, and I'm just going to do that all the way down the side until I get to the little corner, and I'll show you how I work that little corner. Okay, I've gotten to the end of this side, so I'm going to do 1 stitch in there. I'm not going to do a second one because there's nowhere to put it. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to come around the tip of the triangle and I'm going to put my next stitch into the side of that next stitch. So to match this side, instead of putting a second single crochet there, I'm just going to start another group of 3 chains, and then I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. And now that it's going to match the other side, I'm going to continue the pattern as normal. So I'll do another single crochet, and then I'll basically do the same thing up the other side. I'm back at the top of my other corner, and I've just done my 2 single crochets. I'm going to chain 3 for the last time, and I'm just going to put another single crochet back into this corner. And that's the end of the little scallop border. So we need to fasten off here, whether you've used one or more colors, you can cut your yarn and fasten off by just pulling through that last loop. And again, leave your project facing this way because this is going to be the front. Now we're going to make the straps. I like to chain about 80 chains for the straps, and we're just going to do a really simple chain strap without crocheting back into that chain, because let's be real, that is so tedious. So chain until you've got 80 chains. When you've got your 80 chains, work back up to that corner where you've just fastened off last, and we're actually going to go just back into that space there. So put the hook in, yarn over. You might need to flip your chains over your hook like that, and then pull through the 2 loops to make a single crochet in that same corner where we kind of just finished. Now your stitch might have just gone overlapping the next stitch we need to go into, so just pull it to the side, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the top of each of these double crochets. Do a single crochet in the chain 1 space, and then do a single crochet once in each of the next 3 double crochets. Now we're going to kind of close off the top of these flowers. So I like to do 3 single crochets into the chain 3 space. Chain 1, and then we're going to put a double crochet in the middle stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3 single crochets. We're going to go into the middle one and do a double crochet, chain 1, and 3 single crochets in the next chain 3 space. Now you'll start to see the pattern forming again. We're going to single crochet in the top of each of these 3 double crochets. And this will be our pattern repeat. So once again, single crochet in the chain 1 space in between, 3 single crochets along the next 3 double crochets, 3 single crochets in the chain 3 space, chain 1, skip the first single crochet, double crochet into the next one, chain 1, 3 single crochets in the chain 3 space. So keep repeating that along. Depending on how many rows you've decided to do, you might have to do this more repeats than I'm going to do here, but I'm doing this 3 more times, I think, and then I will be at the other side. So I'm up to my last 3 double crochets after a chain 1 space. So I'm just going to finish out this pattern. I've got 3 more single crochets and 1 in the very last stitch. And now we've made it all the way to the other side. I'm going to do 80 more chains to do the other strap. When you've done the last chain that you need to do, just snip off the end with a bit of a tail, pull through the last loop and pull that tight. And other than weaving in our ends, we are done. Now, if you really wanted to, you could even go back and put the scallop edge on the front as well. That could be cute also. Now, I'm just going to quickly go over how I finished this off because I learned a really cool tip from Passionate Kelsey. She finishes her ends by folding over this tail against the rest of the strap and then tying a knot right at the end. And then just getting that super tight and then snipping off this bit of extra yarn. And I just thought that that was so smart and so easy, and it makes the ends look really cute without having like a weird dangly tail, because I never knew how to finish like a chain like this. If you've only used one single color, you'll only have 2 ends to weave in other than finishing off those tails. I've got 4 because I decided to change it up a little bit. So I'm just going to quickly weave in my ends and then we'll see how it looks. I have a trick as well for if you end up with a short tail like this. So I'm going to take this tail down here, put the needle through, and then thread the needle. That way you don't need as long of a tail in the first place. It's just kind of makes it a little bit easier, and then I'll unthread the needle again. See, it's not ideal because you end up having to thread the needle so many times, but it gets the job done. And that might have to do for that one because I don't really have enough of a tail to go through. Can I go through one more time? It's not perfect, but it shouldn't come undone. And these days I am learning that done is better than perfect. Okay, I'm gonna do my other ends off camera and then I'm going to show you how it looks at the end. Okay, I've woven in all my ends, and I actually also decided to block this quickly because I just wanted to show you the difference with how this pattern comes out when you're just kind of crocheting it and it kind of is bunching up a little bit versus after you do some blocking. This is cotton, so steam blocking works really well. I have a little handheld steamer and I just pin these to a gym mat and then I just quickly go over it with my steamer, and now it's cooled down. So I'm gonna pull out these and you'll see it like holds its nice shape. And there we go. You can see now it lays nice and flat. So I do recommend giving your work a good block when you're finished with it. But I hope that you like this pattern. This is the first time I've made it with like the different border and in a solid. This is the one I made before. And to be honest, I didn't block this one, and you can actually see the difference. See, the stitches just aren't laying flat. But that is the end of this tutorial. I'm just going to show you the measurements. So at the top, it's about 40 centimeters, which is 16 inches. And then from here to here is about 8.5 inches or 22 centimeters roughly. It does have a lot of stretch, especially this way. And then the ties I did are they're about the same long as the top edge. So another, what did we say? 40 to 42 centimeters or 16 inches. But yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoy making one of these. I would love to see them. You can tag me on Instagram at Carley Rose Studio. I would love to see what you come up with. And please let me know in the comments below if you do make one of these for yourself. I would love to hear from you guys. Please let me know if you enjoyed this tutorial, if it was easy to follow. If you have any tips for me or any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I have another video coming out soon about making a top out of bandana patterns. So that one I'm super excited about. Hopefully I'll see you guys there or in whichever video I decide to put out next. I hope you guys are having a really lovely week and I will see you in the next one. Bye.